Periscope and Twitch and YouTube, and it seems like we have it. So I would say hi everybody, and welcome to Dr. Mix. And this is our first mix critique session. I have with me the lovely Dom and Arran, and yes,
Hi guys.
how have you been, Dom?
Very good, very good. We've been busy.
Yeah.
Really,
Always.
you don't say.
We
Yep.
always are.
Yeah, and how are you doing, Arran?
I'm all good. I've been doing lots of mixes and masterings.
Okay,
It's been a busy week.
of course.
Very busy week.
Very busy week. So, well, basically, we have been receiving quite a lot of submissions for our mix critique. This means that we have a little bit more, in fact, a lot more than we will have time to review. So, we wanted to sort of draw which ones we were gonna do, but instead, what we are going to do is we're gonna critique as many as we can on this episode, and potentially on another episode, but more likely the ones that we haven't commented on, we're gonna comment individually by email personally. So we'll try to go through as many as possible.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just to be fair, by the order that they arrived.
Yeah.
and
We received so many that
Yeah.
this seemed the best way to
we
do
would
it.
need like probably 6 hours to go through all of them.
Yeah. And so yeah, I would say just a couple of words. We today also we are going to select a few winners, and what we're giving out is 3 courses from Udemy, the official guide to mixing. That's going to be absolutely for free to 3 people, and one lucky winner will win £75 worth of vouchers to use on drmix.com. So the way you participate in the draw is by going to our mailing lists and subscribe to it. I think that yes, it's if you go on the description, I can see it right now on Facebook. If you watch that description, there is a subscribe link. So just subscribe to that. Make sure you do the opt-in by replying to the confirmation email that you get from Dr. Mix. And once you are registered, we will select from the people who subscribe to the mailing list today. I'm not. I shouldn't do a radio show anytime soon. All right. Okay. So I guess we can start with the first mix. Dom, do you wanna
Cool.
give us something?
Yeah. All right. So the first mix, it's called Breath. And it's Brian, right?
Yeah, Brian.
It's Brian.
We should say we've been through these a little bit before, just to prep. So we've listened through to the tracks.
Yeah. So let's listen to it. Let me know if the levels are okay, Claudio.
Yep.
So he brings in the low ends.
Yeah, it works nicely. for the
Gradually.
intro.
I mean, I think we can stop there. And Claudio, I think this is a cool trick if you are going to use your track for, playing on for DJ sets,
Yep.
so that you can sync everything to the previous track.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is well. Firstly, this sounds pretty good, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm listening to it on headphones. How is it sounding for you? in
It
front
sounds
of
pretty
monitors?
good. I mean, now we still have just drums. It's starting to build up, so let's keep going. Let's bring up the analyzer and see what's going on there. effects. So we have vocals now.
Yeah, nice effects.
Just believe another day. Just breathe, 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 just
Okay.
It's really strong, powerful bass. I like that.
Yeah.
Kicks nice and in front. Really moving the track.
Should I stop it and
Yeah.
say a few things?
Yeah.
Cool. Claudio, do you wanna go
Um,
first?
Yeah, yeah. By the way, yes, I want to go first. I really like this song. What's the name of the person who did it?
Brian.
Brian. Hey, Brian. Congratulations. This sounds really nice. I mean, it's really engaging. I think that the balance is great. I think that the breakdowns really work fantastically. It's hard to critique something that is very good.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my personal view, and of course, I judge it on the fact that I do work as a DJ. So I play things on the dance floor, and I immediately know if something has enough movement to drive the dance floor, and this definitely does. What do you think, Dom?
I think the secret to this type of tracks is that as you can see the arrangement is so sparse, and I want to talk about from more of like a producer's perspective rather than a mixer's perspective, because the sounds are well chosen. There's a lot of space for all the sounds to work well. So I mean, you can hear that all the synths sit very well in the mix, but also they come in like very strategic moments. So there's space for every sound to come in, right?
I'd say the one thing about the synths is maybe they sound a little bit nasal. There's maybe a little bit too much 600s, 800s.
Yeah, I mean there are quite a few sounds. Let's go to the main.
Yeah, the main section here. That main sound can maybe be a little bit more open.
Yeah, I think at this section, I mean, if there's something, if we really want to go very,
Yeah, I mean, we're really looking for stuff on
yeah,
this one.
yeah, it would be that I think that the bass line kind of overpowers the drums just a little bit. Not too much, but it's like.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But I like it. It's a nice sound, It's,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the sound is compelling, and it's got this sort of disco tradition where the bass line would be very important, but it's also a little bit electro. So probably if I mix it, maybe I would retouch a few things based on my taste, like you said. Also, Arran, I mean, mix is very personal, but in terms of how professional this is very professional. I mean, this could live on Traxxers quite easily and be one of the top ones without problems, I think. All right, shall we move?
Let's see if there's anything else that we can check. Of course,
deeper
we
into
cannot go. We cannot just go and listen to the entire track, obviously, for obvious reasons. But that's pretty good. The stereo information is very good as well. Let's go a little bit there. What I would like a bit more, it would be like a bit more sidechain on the bass when the kick drum hits. I think it would move a little bit better.
Yeah, that might be nice.
Yeah,
because like, I mean, the kick drum hits, but the bass still does its own thing, and it's a very cool sound, and I get why it's loud and
you want to show it off.
Yeah, you want to show it off, but maybe if you sidechain it a little bit more.
I think you would also get a little bit of that
yeah
kind of movement, which can help.
Otherwise, I think it's great.
Otherwise, congratulations, really.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really
Okay.
good.
Next.
Next, great. Let's go to the second track, which is called "Hammer of the Gods"
By Raza.
by Raza, and let's listen to it. It's a kind of a synthesizer metal track, so it's a very interesting track in my opinion. Let's go and listen to it.
Sounds cool.
All right.
Okay. So you have quite a few different instruments.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
If you want to
All
go
right.
first.
I think that this mix is not quite good because it is a little bit mushy. The instruments seem to be all a little bit out of focus, and my first guess is that the separation work hasn't been done properly. So this is one of the things that separation between instruments you achieve by using filters. A lot of times, so removing the low end from stuff that we don't need. The sounds of the drums they could be good. I'm not sure because the mix is has some problems. So those drums don't really cut through. And I would have to see the what's inside the session.
Mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's inside the mix, and then
Yeah, of
maybe I
course.
could have a better judgment. In my opinion, it's just about mixing, and also for example that piano that comes up, it's too
Yeah.
loud. It's like it's out of place. So I think that there is no clear intention to who's doing what. So I mean, if there are the drums, they should occupy a better space. So reinforcement, maybe parallel compression for sure, but also proper mix architecture. So bus routing correctly, separating those drums, separating the bass, separating the guitars and everything else, so that you can have divide and conquer. What do you think, Arran?
Yeah, I mean, there's a very fine line between having things glued together and sitting properly and having things stuck together and fighting for the same space. If I had to guess, I'd probably say a keyboardist mixed this, because the synths and the keyboards and the pianos are all very, very in front, almost like they're playing on a backing track at times,
Right.
which I think they need to be. I mean, okay, Dream Theater and some people, they push the keys quite loud in certain sections when they're soloing, but these sound like way too loud to me.
Right.
And the overall mix sounds very congested and quite mono when you say it on.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I understand the challenge when you have a mix like that. This is like a progressive track, right?
Yeah.
And these tracks are really, really hard to mix. I know that very well. So it's you have all those elements, you have those sounds, and you want them to cut through. Then you have to make sure that your drums are punchy. Then you want to make sure that you have your nice bass line. I would say, because I think that then for example, you have, let's see. I mean, this sound, for example, you need to remove a little bit of the 300s because it's very kind of nasal. It's a little bit honky.
Yeah.
I would even try and treat it in a different way. Just bring up a little bit more of the upper mid-range instead of the kind of 300-400s. It sounds really something like that. But I know what you're going for. Let's see. For example, okay. So for example, you have something like this. Let's try and have like a synth sound. Okay, so let's try and add some distortion to this because probably I think this is like a Hammond sound. I mean, here I'm just using like virtual analog synthesizer with some distortion. But the thing is, I mean, if you have a sound like this, and I think that on this track, this sound, I think it kind of substitutes the guitars, right?
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would just spread it a lot, just make it really wide. For example, if you have this synth, let's say you add some distortion, you make it a little bit more distorted. Let's try and spread it a little bit, because when you spread it, then when the piano comes, you have more space for the piano that sits more in the middle. So if I go stereo, let's add a stereo delay. Let's see, stereo delay. There we go. Yeah. There we go. So now, see how wider it is? This is in the middle, kind of, because I've already spread it. This with a spatial enhancer on the distortion plugin. So I spread it like that, and then I spread it like that.
With a stereo delay, you're adding a very, very small amount of delay to one side and a
Can you please show it again? Because I wasn't showing the monitor. Can you please show again?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So basically, we have this analog synth here, this virtual analog synth, Retrolog. It's just including Cubase, and then I guess some distortion. And then you can spread it just with the distortion. Let me just go back there. There we go. So see, open it, and then I'm going to use the stereo delay. I don't know if you can see that. Basically, we have lefts. It has like a delay of 0.1, and then 25 on the right channel, and then something like that. So basically, I would spread it like you would do like multi-tracks on a guitar.
Yeah.
So you would play the same thing and pan it left and right. If you don't want to play it twice, that's a cool trick. Otherwise, just play twice and just pan it. So when the piano comes in, the piano, it's very tempting because let's go. It's too big. In such a busy mix. It's just I know that you're probably proud of it and you want to show off all the solos and everything, but you have to remove some of the low mids. It's just a bit too much for such a. If it was a bit, if you were to arrange the track a little bit differently, and make a breakdown for this part, I would basically just try and maybe quantize the notes a little bit, or just make it a little bit tighter to the rhythm, and just remove a little bit of the low end, because that's the problem. You need it's not gonna be heard on the in between those drums, guitars. The low end is not gonna be heard anyway, so just remove it. I know it sounds like you're kind of sacrificing the piano, but
it will help it glue a little bit better in the track and sit with everything else.
Absolutely. I think this has, if you keep on working on the track, it has some very good potential.
There's some cool stuff in there for sure. I really like the aesthetic of the track. Sort of
Absolutely. So
cool.
Your overall vibe.
Hope this helps a little bit.
So thank you to everyone who's online right now. Let me just give a few shout outs. Arran Locke, thank you for being on. Nice bass line. I thought that was the track from before. And then Brandon de Almeida. Hey man, how you doing? I mean, we've got so many messages. A little bit hard to reply to all of them. I'm gonna just say, we love you. Oh, on Facebook, and we'll try and also get on YouTube as well. Just to remind you, before the end of this show, we will have drawn 3 winners for our official guide to mixing course on Udemy, and £75 worth of Dr. Mix voucher for the people who are going to subscribe to our mailing list. And to do that, just go to our Facebook page. There is the streaming link, and there is a URL there. Just do it, 15 minutes before this program is over. I would say we'll keep it on for about an hour, maybe a little bit more. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, before the show is over, we will have chosen a few winners. And Pietro Lena, hi. Tony Trivano, hi. Wow. Yes. Well, I think we have got a lot of music to go through, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one, yeah?
Cool. You want to introduce the next one, Arran?
Yeah, the next one is Kangaroo by Michael. I've got that one.
Yes.
Cool.
Let's see if this works because. Okay.
Yeah, we've got a lot of tracks that came in, right, guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
Loads of
quite a
tracks.
few.
We
Oh,
got like
more than
more than we
30.
were expecting, I think.
Yeah.
Great.
It's proven to be very popular.
Let's
Take it
play
away.
this, right? Actually, just from the beginning, before we even play it, you can see that this track is way more dynamic.
Yeah.
So I suppose it hasn't been mastered compared to the previous tracks, for example.
Which we pulled down, we should say.
Yeah. So that we don't blow your ears off, So that's just for your own safety. And let's play this one now.
Cool. Okay, can we skip through and listen to the other parts?
Actually, I think that Michael is with us.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is that Michael?
I think so.
Oh, not Master. It's not Master yet. Oh, Michael Prinda. Is that you, Michael?
Michael, are you up there?
Cool.
Cool.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
All right.
I've quite a few things to say about this.
Okay.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no. You guys go first.
All right. I really like the vibe of the song. I think it has a great rhythm. The way it moves, it's like it's really funky and really, I feel like dancing. It makes me feel like dancing. So you must have done something right, Michael. I think that maybe the keyboards are a little bit too loud, a little bit too present, just a tiny bit. And I feel that the low end is a little bit confused, a tiny bit. I mean, I can hear the sidechain work, which kind of does that thing of pushing back and forth. But I think that the low end must be polished a little bit better.
It feels a bit uneven, doesn't it, in the low end?
It feels like it's a little bit out of control.
Yeah.
And
I think it could just be a bit more solid.
yeah, especially a song like this where the kick is very important. I think that the kick is not as solid as it should be. Maybe the rhythm is a tiny bit fluffy. That's the word. So I would probably choose some transient designing or some way to enhance them.
I think the problem with the low end lies on the clashing between the kick drum and the bass.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it because check out what happens when there's the first beat of every bar. See?
Can you zoom
Seems
in?
like some resonance, some modulation going on between the kick drum and the bass. This. So let's try and I'm gonna use frequency here, which is like an MSEQ, and let's try and isolate these frequencies. Let's try and listen to this one. See?
Yeah, that's the
See?
one.
That's the one. It's around
150.
yeah 150, and let's see what happens in the stereo channel as well.
Yeah.
Stereo channel is good. Let's try and see. Actually, there's a lot of stuff
There's a
going
lot
on
of
in this
information
on
there.
the side channels as well. See what happens when
Yeah.
it. So I would say that if that's the case, I would just try and make this sound a little bit thinner, or just remove some of these frequencies because I think it clashes with the kick drum. Let's try the kick drum.
Yeah. Yeah. They're fighting. They're
See, it's
fighting.
this point from 100 to 150.
Yeah.
That's very muddy there. If you fix that region, you'll be golden, I think.
Yeah, but
in
it
terms
was
of-
very interesting when you went to the below. Can you please go below again?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you could hear that sort of fluffiness. Can you please go back to it?
Mhm.
See, basically the pumping of the kick drum is not there because at the same time there is some rumble going,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
my best guess is the bass or maybe some keyboards.
Why don't we try, you know what we can do? Let's try the multiband envelope shaper and just isolate the low end and see if we can actually... So this is very long, see?
Yeah.
So now if you just tighten it a little bit like this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you
let's
get some more
let's try
definition.
and play it with it. Of course, that's not the way to do it because now we're just affecting the entire stereo out. But in my opinion, I think that it instead of
Marginally better, yeah.
instead of more sustain on the kick drum, I would like more attack. So
Right.
maybe some, transient designer, like you said, Claudio, in the beginning. I think it would really work well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm talking about individually as a mix, not as in
yeah,
mastering.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not of course. Like this is not optimal, and we wouldn't resort to that unless we really
Yeah.
had to. But
I mean, I think that if we were mastering this and we had to salvage it, the first thing that we would do is probably remove that rumble from the stereo to begin with, because
Yeah.
a low end on the stereo part of the music is not. I mean, can be a little bit confusing because it takes away the focus of the pumping of the speaker, the sub. I'm thinking of the club, right? So you want that subwoofer to be able to move. So if you give it too much information, then it's not gonna move as effectively.
Mhm.
So okay, thank you. But great song. I really like the song. I mean,
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
nice groove, very nice groove. And so I would say let's go to the next one.
Next one. There we go. Here we are.
Oh, just one second. Hello to George. Hello to Michael Nick Farrant. Hey Nick, how you doing? Jonas Baumbach. Did I butcher
Jonas.
your name? Hey Jonas, how you doing, man? Hey guys. Dimitris has joined. Hello, Dimitris. Let me. Will Patterson has joined. Hey, Will.
Hey.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Will.
Yeah, and who else? Who else? Who else? Yeah, lots of messages. I'm trying to also get some YouTube joy, but it might take a while. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. We're getting lots of subscribers. That's fantastic. Shall we go with the next track, Tom?
Let's go with the next one.
Yes. Next track. It's called Fear in Varieties, and it's from Brett's.
Yes.
Right? Cool.
correct.
So let's play it.
Whoa. Can I bring the analyzer up? Analyzer up? Yeah, so it's got that scoop sound from metal, which is very popular. Not massive.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. Should we go to the next section and see what's there?
Yeah, can we get that last section?
Oh, solo? Maybe we lost the solo.
Very cool.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right, I want to see how it ends. Cool. And this is obviously mastered.
Whoa.
I mean, you can see the waveform. But I mean, that's really typical for for metal music. It's
Yeah.
like, you have to make it loud. It's
So it's
supposed
like
to be
duct tape.
loud. You cannot be soft with metal. So
No.
I mean, you can, but you
Yeah.
know.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, exactly. Cool, Arran.
Okay, I had a few notes on this. I think the guitars have a bit too much 3 or 4K. They sound a bit fizzy and harsh in the top end. I think the sound of the guitars in and of itself, apart from that, is very good. What else do I have? I felt that it actually pumps a bit too much around the kick drum.
Yeah,
I
I
would-
felt that as
you
well.
felt that
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I would possibly pull the kick drum back a bit more, especially on the faster runs. Maybe use a compressor with a slightly longer release, so you're getting the first hit, and then the sort of the ones that come immediately after that very quickly are ducked down, so you're getting sort of more impact. What else did I have?
Another thing that you can do is, I mean, I think the sound is very, it's proper.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
The
not
sounds
like
are well done.
it's not like far off to what you want to achieve with this genre of music. I think that's what to add to Aaron's point. I mean, the kick drum. I think the drums are mixed quite well. I would say. The kick drum has this attack, this clicky sound that's what you want in metal. It's not like a big, especially with this really fast double kicks. You can't have like all this low end. I
No.
think the problem is that it's a little bit more low end that you should.
Yeah.
What I
probably.
would do is I would just automate the EQ, or just add a parallel channel with the low end. So when you have like slow hits, like that's not like 16th notes or. I mean, with this section, probably you can go with a bit more low end. But when you have the 16th notes, in this case, I think you can
Yeah.
roll off the low end, but because you cannot automate an EQ, it's always going to introduce problems. What I would say is, instead of having an EQ and automating the EQ, have like a main kick drum channel,
Yeah.
and just with not too much low end, which is going to be your default kick drum channel, then add a parallel one that will have all the low end, and just add it whenever you need it and remove it whenever you don't need it. Because if you have like so fast kick drums, the low end doesn't have time to project itself and basically expand, so you end up with oversaturating and overcompressing your bus. That's why you get this pumping thing. And also, I guess you've mastered it, so you've probably triggering your limiter as well with these fast kick drums, because the low end adds up and the limiter goes like
Can't cope with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think the mix overall was a bit harsh, especially the cymbals, I'd say.
yeah. I mean, like it can be a bit sweeter, I think.
Yeah.
You know, just I mean,
Just
and
needs cleaning up.
yeah, it's not too bad. It's not bad at all. But maybe, I mean, for example, the guitars. Let's try and see what we can do. They're on the sides, are they? Let's see.
I don't know. Can you check that 3/4 code? The hi-hat?
Yeah, this
Yeah, that's
this you
really
can get rid of.
Yeah, definitely get that.
I think you need more of this.
Probably.
So, I mean, just so you know what we're doing here as well, to explain a little bit, this is an MS EQ, which means we can isolate the mid signal, which is basically all the instruments and all the signal that's basically in the center, to the side signal, which is the, you know, the difference between the left and right, and you know, just the entire signal that's on the side channels. So so as you can see, we cannot hear the drums here because most of them are on the mid channel. But if I go to the mid channel, yeah, I think you can clean up a little bit of the 300s as well. Not too much, but because there's the,
Yeah, that's nice.
I think,
Bass is very nice though.
yeah.
The other thing I'd say about this is, did you feel that the vocals had a bit too much ambience around them? I don't know if that... There's like a weird space around them.
I think they're just a little bit more harsh than I would. Yeah,
The ambience around them seems a little bit off to me. Seems a little bit cloudy.
yeah. I mean, yeah. It wasn't the first thing that bothered me,
No.
but yeah,
No,
I
that was
think
one
it's
thing
they
I
can be a
noticed.
little bit more upfront. But again, it's metal. It's very subjective. You might
Yeah.
want the vocals loud. You might want them a little bit, you know, further back. I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
But-
for my taste, I'd have the snare up a little bit more as well.
Yeah?
But I
Okay.
mean, I know I'm very, very snare centric.
Yeah. I mean, for the snare, maybe you can add a little bit of, you know, some. Let's try, you know, that thing, and I think we can go on the next one. For example,
Yeah.
if you want a little bit more snare, let's see. Well, let's
Yes.
let's do it like the dirty way now, and just add a little bit on the. Let's go like this. On the multi-band envelope shaper.
Whoa! Yeah, I'd have it bounce it over more.
Check
See,
that
even,
out.
Even this, you know, if we add the attack, I mean, this is like, I love this
This
plugin
is-
so
yeah.
much. I mean, you add a little bit of attack, and then the kick drum comes up. That I would probably do it on the drum bus. So
I think it's a really cool song though. I'd have a lot of fun mixing it.
yeah, I mean, look, you can shape it so much. I mean, this is the dirty way. We just have the, you know, stereo bus, and
Yeah,
you
this
know.
is
But
really
I
good.
think that, you know, Transient Designer is your friend
Yeah, definitely.
for this type of thing.
Definitely.
That's great. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to do a little shout out because I finally could get to YouTube.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't realized that we had a ton of comments there. Yes, because we're live streaming both on YouTube and Facebook. We've got the technology to do that. And so I need to do a quick shout out to Clinton Robinson and Ben Brooker, Vito Leone, Zen World, Godfather, Tom J. O, with no sense, And
Hey, James.
James, yes. Who else have we got there? Shane Thomas. Guys, you're really so kind. You're giving us all of your love, and we love you black. We love you black. No, because there is somebody who's called. Okay, never mind. We love you back. That's what we meant to
We
say.
should just say that if you enjoy this and you want us to do this again, give us feedback because this is the first time we're trying this.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
exactly, and
So if
also,
you like it, tell us.
you know, I'm kind of okay. I've got these buttons that I'm pushing, and every time I push it, I got a different angle. I'm gonna make you dizzy for a second. How do you like that? It's horrible, isn't it? So I'm not getting it right completely all the time because today Eero, our video expert, is not here. Because so I'm doing it and I'm not extremely good at it. So I apologize for the mad editing. And then having said that, yes, please, if you find this information useful, please share this this live stream, whether you're on Facebook, on YouTube, or wherever. Just share this link. We appreciate it. And we will go to the next track, which is
I'm going to butcher this, Hol mich raus. I guess
Ah.
in German by Andreas.
Hold on, I think we have Andreas.
Do we?
We're just gonna play it, Andreas. Yes.
I'm sorry
You
I
just
butchered your
logged
track
in at
name.
the right moment. Awesome. So we have your patient here, and we're gonna give it a listen. Let's see. Awesome. I like that you guys are already online, so we can actually do this while you're here. Perfect. Let's listen to that. As you can see, I think this is not. I'm not sure if you've mastered this, but it looks
Doesn't look it.
It looks like very dynamic, which would be very good for mastering. So yeah, let me just turn off all the plugins so that we don't change the sound. This is completely
cool.
neutral. Perfect. Let's listen to it.
Weißt du, welcher Weg hier rausführt? Ich bin müde und suche schon so lang. Soweit meine Beine mich tragen, kämpf ich und lauf so weit ich kann. Ich hoffe, ich komm bald bei dir an. Wenn es etwas gibt, das mich nach oben zieht, wenn du weißt, wie meine Lösung heißt, dann bitte
Nice song.
hol mich
It's very pretty.
hier raus
Very pretty.
und zeig mir den Weg nach Haus. Du sagst mir, auch das Jahr geht vorbei. Das zu glauben fällt mir schwer. Immerhin sind wir jetzt schon zu zweit. Und das ist ja nicht verkehrt. Und weit ist es sowieso nicht mehr. Wenn es etwas gibt, das mich nach oben zieht, wenn du weißt, wie meine Lösung heißt, dann bitte hol mich hier raus
All right.
und zeig.
Shall we
Go to that last section.
That section then?
Yeah, let's go to the last section. Hold on a second. All right, cool. Now we have the theme again. Let's go to the last section. I think this song is like, it changes so much that we really have to go through.
Yeah, it's really building to that last
Let's go
section, I
again.
feel.
All right.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, I think. Right.
Nice build up. Oh, I like this stereo effect in the end.
That's a nice
Okay,
effect,
cool.
yeah.
Cool. Sorry for butchering this, but yes.
Yeah, you know, we're trying to cover as many tracks as possible. I think that the work with the synth, the guitars, and everything else is just very nice. I mean, the tone is nice. The texture of the sound is really nice. I think that the problem is the drums, because they're just a little bit too fluffy and not defined enough. I mean, it feels like the rest of the mix is like really good, a little bit too dynamic. Maybe there is a little bit too difference between the beginning and the end, but that's something that mastering can fix. But otherwise, what I found problematic was when the drums came in and they were fighting for the low end. They weren't cutting through enough, and I think that it would be pretty much the usual advice of cleaning off tracks before. Making sure that you can carve out some space for those drums, especially on a track that is based on pads and lush sounds like this one. What do you guys think?
I think it's a beautiful song, of course. I really like the beginning. I really like the fact that you didn't add reverb to the vocals, and it sounds, because the guitars are really dreamy. And for me, it was like a nice surprise that the vocals were kind of dry in the beginning. I would expect like the typical kind of like plate reverb. I like the fact that you didn't use any reverb, and I think it's a more modern thing to do.
They're very intimate, aren't they? You feel very in the room with them.
What I would add a little bit of reverb, to be honest with you, and that's again mixing but also production, would be when your drums come in.
Auch das Jahr geht vorbei.
Yeah.
See, like this kind of space here, I feel something that needs. I think that it needs to be filled with something, and that's the tambourine, the snare. It's very nice, but I think it should have like a nice decay until it basically fades out to the next kick drum hit. So I would just add like a nice lush tail of reverb. If you want to be a little bit more modern, you can also, or maybe you want to do a little bit of surprise, then maybe you can reverse one snare, not all the time, and then have this kind of build-up effect, like, I don't know if I can do it quickly now to show you, but let's see. Yeah, it will be a bit tricky to do it, but I'm gonna give it a go. Don't take my word for it. I'm gonna try. Let's say like that. So, let's try and reverse this. And, I mean, of course, now I'm reversing the music as well, but you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm just going to do this. Where's the snare? Yeah, so basically, like, reverse the snare. Let's see where the snare hits. Let's mute that. Yeah, this is the snare. Yeah, so basically, just take your snare, or the reverb of the snare, like Claudio likes to do it, if you followed one of our previous live streams, and then you just basically reverse it. If you're working, in Cubase, I also tend to just stretch a little bit so that I have even more, and now I can go and do like, something like that, very roughly now, but you can, of course, fine-tune it. Not all the time, I think that, but I think it kind of asks for something between all those spaces. It's a slow tempo in the beginning, and I think some element of surprise. Again, this is more production, but I think it's you can really make it more interesting.
I think the track builds really nicely. The first thing that jumps out at me, if you can just play the beginning.
Yep,
again.
sure.
Yeah. I don't know if those noises at the beginning of the guy shuffling around are intentional or not. Maybe they are.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. I'd maybe take it off. I don't know. That's my taste.
Yeah.
The other thing I felt was when the echo guitar comes in the beginning, I think it just comes in a little bit too loud at first. I'd maybe fade it in. So it's a little bit further in, I think.
Weißt du,
What's that?
welcher Weg hier rausführt? Ich hoffe, Ich komm bald bei dir
Probably
an.
here, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Wenn es etwas
I
gibt,
think it
Ah, yeah,
overpowers
yeah,
the
yeah.
vocal just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe it needs to be tamed a little bit.
Do you think the vocals could use a little bit more compression? Or is that just me?
Yeah, I mean the vocals. I would say that you can just polish the vocals a little bit more. Maybe personally I would prefer to have them a little bit brighter. They sound to me a little
I
bit.
think it needs to be more of a saturation brightness rather than a EQ brightness.
Yeah, probably. I just feel because it's very lyrical and it's very intimate. You know, you can just go a little bit louder with the vocals in general.
Yeah.
A little bit more parallel compression as well, so that all the syllables we can hear all the words.
I think the drums overpowered them a little bit as well. I don't know if you felt that.
Yeah. To be fair, it's like you can see here. This, I mean, of course, you can improve this with mastering, but I would say that start working towards the final sound when you're mixing, because you see you have all those huge transients here, and basically, if we can go back to Cubase for a second, you have these huge transients here, and then you have this sort of, which is your harmonies and your guitars. And yes, of course, you can improve this with mastering, but I would say try and make this kind of gap a little bit, you know, just...
Especially when you have the final section, because that's where the limiter is going to be clamping down.
Because
on,
that means that here you can only go as loud, because this is already loud, and then this will sound very... You have to overcompress this to make it kind of even.
Yeah.
Unless you want it extremely dynamic, which is still okay, you know.
I would leave more dynamics in this one, but I think the dynamics in that first section are a little bit much.
Yep.
When the drums come in. I really like the end section.
Yep. And I think that the one thing that
catchy.
could be done with this one would be, you know, just make the guitars a little bit warmer. For example, let's try the usual trick. I'm gonna use this again, just so that we are able to kind of go more into depth in your mix, you know, with our way. So I'm gonna use the sides again. Go to my side channel. Okay, so we have vocals, guitars. Personally, I like the strumming sound of the guitar, so I would bring that up. So let's see. I would like to have this, because you have a guitar there, obviously. It just, you know, but you cannot highlight it. It's too busy there. But this strumming noise, I think this also adds a little bit of groove.
I find that region lacking in the drums as well. I think the snare and the percussion could be a little bit brighter.
Yes, for this section I would start with the drums. If you were to kind of improve the mix, I would start with the drums, make sure that they're nice and punchy, and then bring everything else. And because it's still, I think they need to be more upfront.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Cool.
I'm going to add a couple of things. Now, we said we were going to do an hour, probably we're going to be just a tad longer. I think that we should do one more. But before, I just decided to share a 50% discount on the course for everybody. So if you go to the description of our live stream on Facebook, I've just added the code. So just to say thank you for tuning in, we're giving you like a 50% discount on that one. And we are about to announce the winners of the 3 free courses and the winner of the £75 worth of Dr. Mix vouchers. So I think we're going to do one more tune, maybe a couple of more tune, and then we will announce the winners, and that's going to be it. Is that a good plan, Dom?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah?
Sounds good to me.
Next.
Time's really flown on this one.
Yeah. What time is it? I don't even know what time is it.
Yeah, it's 7:25
Wow. All right.
almost.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
1
yeah.
hour already.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what I'm saying.
All
So
right.
okay. All right,
Cool.
next
Should
track.
we go to the next one? Cool. Next one. Arran, do you want to?
This is Lifted by Shane Thomas.
Yes. Cool. Should
Play it.
we listen to it?
Go ahead.
Hold on a second. Let me switch
Yeah,
this
continue.
off. And now we can go.
Light it up. 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 Pass it round. Light it up. Light it up. Pass it round.
Molly's and them Zannies got the pimpin' feeling different. Light it up and pass it round, we all are getting lifted. Molly's and them Zannies got the pimpin' feeling different. Light it up and pass it round, we
All are getting lifted.
All right.
Molly's and them Zannies got the pimpin' feeling
All right,
different.
all right. Okay, I think I can already identify a few problems. I mean, there is a nice build up. It is a little bit repetitive, that vocal, so maybe I would probably have done some effects on top of it. But the main problem that I'm hearing is that you're building up, building up, building up, and then when the drop arrives, it doesn't meet my expectation. I think that if you can get away with the amount of mixing and dynamics that you have chosen for the long intro, if you can do that, then you really have to hit me hard on that drop. So, and I would say that it's a matter of balance with this one. So, I mean, when you mix for the dance floor, you have to put yourself in the shoes of the person who's going to dance, or the DJ that is going to play your song. So you really have to give them some dynamics, some surprise elements. So balance is king in mixing, and the way you can get more powerful kick drums, usual tricks, parallel compression, getting a good mix structure, and all of that, but also make sure that it's predominant, because when you get that drop, if I don't hear a nice big kick, maybe you can enhance it using like a stronger, some kind of boom or something that really moves the air right there, and then I can start grooving to the rhythm. So for me, it's a matter of balance. Otherwise, I think the song is kind of well constructed, and if mixed right, it can be dance floor efficient. What do you guys think?
You wanna go first, Arran?
I felt the overall mix was a bit hollow sounding. There's a lack in the low mid range. I think it needs a little bit more there. The vocals to me sounded very, very telephonic. I mean, even if you were playing it, you could see in the 2K region, you're getting a lot of build up, and you can see the vocals are very strongly there. I think they could be a bit more natural for my taste. They seem a little
Yeah,
bit
they're a bit
pokey.
Yeah. I think they need a little bit of compression, to be honest with you.
Mm.
And the thing that I've noticed is also that thing. It's you see even here, you can see that you have this kind of dip in the 1 to 200s. I think I think there's something like you can add something else, like an element, so that you feel this space, maybe like kind of analog type of sounds, an analog synth or something like that, because it's the kick drum and the bass on their own there, then there's the vocals there, but here in between it's like
Feels like it's been carved out a bit too much, isn't it?
I'm just hearing vocals and drums,
Yeah.
which I think it's it's very easy to fix that if you add something that occupies a little bit of the mid-range, maybe some like kind of analog, kind of stab, or like a pluck, or like a, very
Yeah, I
kind
go
of,
for a stab.
yeah,
personally.
like quick pad, whoop, something like
Yeah.
that. I think it kind of cries for it. And this will solve your problem, because I don't think you can do much with mixing for this specific one. I mean, you still have some stuff there. Maybe you need to highlight them more.
Just sounds a bit over EQ to me.
But see how much space. Yeah, I think that it just needs a little bit more, a few more sounds, adding to what Claudio said. A few more surprises. Maybe you can keep it like that for a little bit, and then you can introduce new elements. Yeah, but everything. I mean, the drums sound okay. Yeah, they're punchy. They don't suffer from any kind of. Yeah, and the bass is is okay. It occupies the right space. Maybe you can use a little bit more sidechain. But yeah,
Cool.
I think just a little bit more mid, so that it fills
Yeah.
up the thing.
Yeah, yeah. And but otherwise, pretty cool song. What was I gonna say? Okay, how about if we do the last one, then I announce the winners, and we bring this to an end, because we are already,
Yes,
a
let's
little
do
bit
that.
late. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so what have you got there?
This one is Cold Fury by Kareem. Trying to hit it?
Yeah. All right. Oh, hold on a second. Do I have any plugin there? No. Fine.
All right.
Well,
All
let's
right.
go to a different section.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Cool. Thoughts?
Catches your attention straight away, for sure. That intro is really, really powerful.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go. I think that this is a little bit too saturated. I would prefer it to be more natural. I would prefer it to have more impact.
Yeah.
I would prefer it to have more dynamics.
And also,
Because
can you hear?
I almost felt like I had a limiter on for some reason.
I tell you what I think the problem is. I
Mhm.
think that the problem is they didn't filter out the low end when going into the reverb with those big drums. So that's creating a lot of rumble down there. And probably he has used some kind of compression that kind of makes the compressor go a little bit nuts. Maybe that's what I'm guessing. What do you think?
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
personally.
I think that's the case. It's very strange though, because it's like one of the quiet parts of the song, so it doesn't really. I don't know why it sounds like it's been limited to death. But anyway, this is very easily fixed. I would say my very first thing would be this violin sound, of course. It's like the star of the show. I would say that it's at times it sounds a little bit harsh, but I would be a bit reluctant to EQ it and make it less bright because it's the main element. But what I would do is I would add some dynamic EQ and basically dynamically cut a little bit of the 4K, maybe a little bit of the 800s as well. Yeah, it's not all the time, so I wouldn't EQ it like as a whole. I would just add a dynamic EQ, not a compressor, and dynamic EQ, so that when these notes hit, the dynamic EQ basically dips those frequencies that are kind of piercing, and it does just. I think you can do so much better with this sound because it's it's a cool riff. So, but it's not all the time. So I would say just make sure it's dynamic EQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It misses a little bit of separation. I also would say. I think that when it gets very loud down there in the end, then it gets a little bit confusing at the low end.
Yeah.
I can tell that the no clear decisions were made on the low end. When you have these big drums like that, you have to side chain a lot more. So you have to sort of give priorities. So when this big hit comes, then maybe the lower toms, the low end goes away. So that basically there's like there's a timetable for who's taking the space down there in the low end, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
Okay.
the low end, the bass sort of was very uneven, and I think if you go back to the session with the clap,
Here.
just after that, the clap, it feels like it's a lot more high end than it is mid-range punch. I think it could be a bit more powerful if you added some more 1.5K in there. Then maybe
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I would like more of those claps. I
No
a bit more
question.
power.
Yeah. I can tell it's a good sound. I think it should be a little bit more highlighted. I also felt that the kick drum when it plays in isolation, and that's also might be a problem with your low end. I feel it's just too long.
Yeah.
It's just it goes a boom boom boom. See that? That's your kick drum, and then it keeps going. So I would just either use a transient designer, or if I was producing this, I would just synthesize the kick drum and make it a little bit shorter, or find a different sample. The sound is good. Maybe you want to keep the top end of this sample, but maybe the low end you need something a little bit more compact, a little bit more, because it's not a slow track. It's kind of
It moves along.
yeah, it moves.
Do you know what? I think there's too much low end in the sides.
Yeah.
me.
Let's try and see. Let's try that. Because I also felt that there is a little bit of dirt on the low mid. So okay. So this guitar. Maybe you want to treat this frequency of this guitar just maybe like kind of use a notch or something, because I don't think it adds anything.
Can you take the low end?
Let's go. This is the side channels, right? So this
Yeah.
is the side signal. Yeah,
Quite rumbly and
it's kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of
See,
information.
that's it. That's. Let's go back. And this is the side channel, right? So you normally don't want so much rumble on your sides. It's gonna cause problems. Also, the limiters don't work well. Your compressors don't work well. So I would just try and check your mix, find all your elements, and make sure that you see what's causing this dirt. Of course, now we can see that there's something there.
Yeah.
200s, like. So even if I remove it with mastering, it's gonna sound a bit, more clean. But of course, if you do it in mixing, it's so much better. Let's see what else we have there. There is also a little bit of low end
Yeah.
on your side, so I would
That's what I was
treat
hearing.
that. So just make sure that on your sides you don't have so much low end because you cannot control it so well. See? It's there.
Ooh.
See? That's the sides. I mean, compared to the mid signal, just to show you how it sounds, let's go there and just... Yeah.
But also you hear here in this in that low end, there is a lot going on. There is not, I cannot hear the pulse of the kick drum.
Yeah.
And yeah, from that, you know, when you isolate the frequencies like that, you can really zero in on what's going on. So we were listening to the mono information to the low end, and I didn't hear.
Yeah. It's more like a sustained kind of drony type of.
You can feel it moving around way too much.
Yeah. Yeah, it moves. It moves too much, and for me the biggest problem is the size. So I mean this thing.
Oh yeah,
That's
that low end in the sides.
Not sure
Yeah.
where this low end comes from. Maybe the kick drum has a little bit of stereo information. Anyway, if we were to master this, the very first thing that we would do would be to go into our our filters here and go to the side channel, go there
Make
and
sure it's
just
linear phase though.
linear phase, of course. Let's do that, and we would chop. You would basically cut all the low end below 80 or something, because see, because this will clean it up a lot. I don't know if you can hear it already. It's like
Feels a bit tighter.
Here where we have like good monitoring systems and we can hear the low end. You know, we can tell that it's so much tighter. But
Yeah.
I mean, of course, this is just
You might need headphones for that in your environment.
and you also, it's like that the last resort.
And it also makes sense that, you know, not everyone is blessed to have like a nice studio with, you know, good low end representation. So what I would suggest is that you use good headphones. We found that the Sennheiser HD 650s are, you know, pretty reliable. They don't all sound the same. Is that true, Dom? They all, you know.
No, they don't sound the same.
But
they are quite different.
yeah,
We
but
have like how many pairs now, and
Oh,
they all sound a little bit.
I finished counting them, but but yeah, I mean, headphones can help a lot. So, having said all this, I think it's time for some winners. So the winners have been kindly drawn by Kei Suzuki, who is in the other room, who's helping us remotely because we are in the other room here. And I am happy to announce that the winners for the official Guide to Mixing course, where you can learn all of the techniques that we use to make music sound good. The three winners are Ben Brooker, Sebastian Bustamente. Interesting. My name is Passavanti Bustamente. Anyway, congratulations. And finally, Matteo Santiloni. So these are the three winners. You will receive the
Well done,
codes.
guys.
Woo!
Well done.
Hey! And you will receive. Just give us a, maybe tomorrow we'll send it because it's a little bit late, and we'll send you an email. And then the winner of £75 worth of Dr. Mix vouchers, which you can use to get your mixing, mastering, or production services, is Christoph Hoppe-Thiele.
Nice.
I'll give it one more go.
Yeah,
Christoph Hoppe-Thiele. Congratulations! Yay!
Great.
Yes. And well, listen. Thank you so much. You're connected, Tom.
I'm not.
Yeah. Yay! Fantastic. So, well, listen, everyone. Thank you for joining in. We've got like 4,000 views on
Wow.
Facebook, on YouTube. Oh, I've lost it. Anyway, sorry. Well, listen, thanks to Sherry, Greg, all of the people that have come to visit us today. We will do this again soon, right, guys?
Yeah,
Hopefully.
thanks
Yeah.
so much, guys, for sending the material. We've got so many tracks to go through, so we cannot go through all of them in one go. Otherwise, we would have to spend like 1
Yeah.
minute for every track, and it's not fair.
Yeah, that's right. And so what we
Sorry,
are
Robert.
going to do is we're going to give you a little feedback via email. So we'll just reply to your email. Just allow us a little while because we're very busy, but we already have some notes. So it's just a matter of writing you back. Otherwise, please remember to hit that button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like our Facebook page, and please keep spreading the word. Music is beautiful. We are lucky that we are alive and we have music. So I'm very thankful. Dom, Arran, do you want to say your goodbyes tonight?
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
See you on the next one.
Fantastic. And I am going to end this broadcast right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Lots of love from the Dr. Mix team.
Bye.
Yay!